Hey everybody, welcome back to a new week. I am very excited because this is the week where we get out of the house. This is the week where we go out and we find our very first property. And to be honest with you, this is probably one of my very favorite things to do. I love getting new properties signed up. Some of the things that we're going to cover this week include our 90-day game plan. So the 90-day game plan is going to take you from the very moment that you first get a property and sign the lease to 90 days later when you're fully profitable and optimized and making the most amount of money you can make. What we're going to aim for 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days with a 90-day game plan. We're going to go over a case study. I'm going to show you an actual property that I got, what happened in the very first month, second month, third month, how much money I made, how many days I was booking, all that information so you can look at an actual property, see what it costs, see how much I was making, go through a specific example to give you an idea of what to expect. We're going to talk about the initial investment to get started and what you're going to need and also how to get that money back quickly. We're going to talk about the different property types that are out there. So there are three main property types. There's some that work better than others. And there's actually one that I recommend you don't look at all. It'll save you a ton of time. It just doesn't really work for what we're trying to do. I'm also going to talk about where to find the properties. Specifically, what resources can you use online to be able to find the listings that nobody else knows about and to find the properties that are most likely to work for short-term rentals. I'm going to talk about how to deal with landlords. How do you get them so that they're excited to work with you? How do you pitch them? How do you get them invested in the idea and open to the idea of doing short-term rentals, which is key to the B&B formula. And I'm going to show you how to make landlords love you and not only be thrilled to be working with you, but want to give you more units and more properties if they have multiple properties. We're going to talk about property hacks. So this is some off-the-cuff, kind of out-of-the-box ideas on how to get properties that you may not have thought of, and you might be overlooking certain properties that you should be adding. We're going to talk about paperwork. There are things like leases and addendums. There's not a lot of paperwork in this business, but the paperwork that does exist is very important that you get correct. And we're going to go over the different kinds of paperwork that you need to know about and how to get those together so you're prepared. And then we're going to talk about when you get your first listing, what do you do? Once you get it, what is the very next step you need to be doing? The next things that you need to put into practice in order to be able to make that listing super successful. So get excited. We got a lot to cover this week. Let's get started. The first thing that I want to talk about is the 90-day game plan. Like I mentioned before, a 90-day game plan is what should be your minimum goal to achieve in the first 90 days in this business. I hope that many of you are going to exceed this and do much, much better than this. I want you to know that this game plan is very, very conservative. And if you hit these numbers, you hit these goals, you're doing great. And I think that a lot of you do a lot better than this. In fact, I did a lot better than this when I started. But this is the bare minimum game plan for what you should be aiming for. So the first 30 days, the goal is to break even. So you're going to look at it like your first 30 days in the business, it's like an education. You've never done this before. You're learning how it all works. Your goal on your calendar should be able to fill it enough so that you break even and you cover all your costs the first 30 days. At 60 days, my goal and your goal should be to be profitable. By the end of the second month, you should be bringing in some money, and I'm going to show you specifically how that works and how to do that. And then by 90 days, the goal would be to be optimized. So by 90 days, your property should be working efficiently enough that it's going to be bringing in the maximum amount of revenue, the maximum amount of profit. Not that you can't improve it. You're going to constantly be improving and booking more days on your calendar and figuring out how to make more money each and every day and each and every month. But by 90 days, you should have a general idea of where that property should be priced, how much it's going to make, how much it's going to profit you each and every month. Okay, so that's the 90-day game plan. Get ready. Let's get started with lesson 1.